Hello, CrossFit Ethos. Welcome to your tips and strategies for CrossFit Open 2026. Now, for those who are newer here, we give this to speak directly to our community to help you guys out, prepare, and have the best experience when it comes to these three challenging weekends where we somewhat forced you guys, also encourage you guys to participate. Anyways, we all know that strategies are great, tips are great. The reality is after 3, 2, 1 go, a lot of them kind of goes out the window. So the way I'd like to approach the next 3 weekends when speaking to you guys and preparing for your open attempts is really speak more from a very sort of like memorable and sustainable and very actionable perspective. Let's start off with preparing you guys. We want to make sure that 3 muscle groups are ready for this. Your quads, that's the front of your legs, your hamstrings, that's the back of your legs, as well as your shoulders. And you're already thinking, wait, why shoulders? It's primarily jumping, stepping up, and squatting. Why? Wall balls, believe it or not, actually uses up a lot of your shoulders. And you're going to feel that, especially as we transition to those 2 rounds where you're doing your carryovers. And basically, the more a certain muscle group is ready to do a movement, the less your heart rate will jack up, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a bit. So make sure that those 3 muscle groups feel ready and prepared to do some work. Second, in terms of loosening, the primary joints we want to feel here, obviously shoulders is one of them as well, but the main ones would be your hips, knees, and ankles. The more they are open, the less you will encounter in terms of having problems with the standard of the wall ball squat, which I know a lot of us are already dreading. I feel like we're not going to worry too much about hitting our targets here. So make sure that those joints are nice and loose. And again, just relating it to your heart rate, the more that your joints are ready to move around, the less your heart rate will jack up. Last but not the least, I want to talk about getting the heart and lungs ready. The reality is this is not one of those long-ish workouts. It's a lot shorter than we'd imagined, and we want your body to be revved up and ready to go by the time it hits 3, 2, 1 go. And so I know that one of the most common things we do is we tend to conserve a lot. We think about, oh, I don't want to get too tired before doing the open workout, when in fact this is quite the opposite of what efficiency would look like. I want you to think about getting out of bed at 5 in the morning and then starting in a 5 kilometer run with barely any warm up. You can imagine that the first 400 to 1 kilometer of your run, your heart rate is jacked up because your body's not ready to go. And so the same mindset applies into preparation for this specific workout. Now let's talk strategies. On the other side, you want to make sure that you are choosing your breaks wisely. Let's acknowledge that we all have different heights, we all have different strengths, and we all have different preferences. Meaning we know that some of us like jumping, hate jumping. Some of us like wall balls, hate wall balls. It's important that you're able to identify how you would efficiently break the workout and stick to that. We're not going to spoon feed you that number because we might tell you, hey, we think 10s is a good idea, but that's too much for you. And we'll say, hey, we think 6s are a good idea, but that's too little for you. So it's important that we tickle your brain there a little bit. Second, this is a short workout, as I mentioned time and again, and the alternation between wall balls, rest, step ups, box jumps, and all of these things will find you that where you're getting into the halfway mark and you're already almost done with your time frame. Squat, hinge, narrow, wide. This is us empowering you with the autonomy type of training that we do all year round. There's no one way to skin the cat. We can do our wall balls with a wider stance using more hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. We can do our box jumps with a narrower stance using the front of the legs or landing on top of the box more in a hinged position rather than a squatting position, conserving the legs and using a little bit more of the hamstrings and back. It is just more important that we are able to identify, practice, and learn how to do these things and how to do these different things to be efficient across the board. Last but not the least, in terms of my tips here, you want to think about positions. And this primarily goes for, I want to say, our wall balls as well as our box movements. So when we think about positions, the more upright you are, the less effort you exert when it comes to wall balls. So prioritizing being looking like this rather than looking like this. When you think about landing or stepping up on the box, the more centered you are, the less effort you have to put. So I want you to imagine that the box is here in front of me. I'm here. I either try to stand up. Most of my weight is back here. The amount of effort I have to put is a lot. Position is the key. Position is the key. And that's it for 26.1. And for our newer members, In case you're wondering, why is it called 26.1? 26 is the year that we are doing the workout. 1 is the first workout or the number of the workout that you're doing. Welcome to the CrossFit Open to our beginners. And for those doing year 2 and year 3 with Ethos, we wish you good luck. Let's keep it going. Cheers.